Elon Musk is known for his power moves, and back in April, he shocked the entire internet when he revealed a plan to buy Twitter. Unfortunately, the deal collapsed on July 8th after Elon's team had doubts over spam accounts. Joe Rogan still believes the tech billionaire has a special plan to resurrect the deal. Keep watching this video as we tell you everything about the $44 billion deal. First up, it's all a part of the plan. It felt like Elon was joking or something when he first revealed his mega plan to buy Twitter on Twitter. He says and does a lot of things, and honestly speaking, we don't know what to make of them. So we weren't actually sure whether he's serious or just messing around. But then we started hearing a lot of reports that Elon was actually really interested in buying out the platform because he had ideas to make it big on free speech. More free speech as in not banning Donald Trump? Anyway, the tech billionaire wasn't exactly interested in buying out the entire platform. He only wanted a small share of it at first, but we're guessing something changed his mind and then he made an offer to buy the entire platform. The guys at Twitter were pretty psyched to hear about the offer, but again, who would say no to $44 billion? Sounds like a pretty fair deal, right? Like an offer you just can't refuse. Twitter gets a cool $44 billion, while Elon gets a social media platform. But what made the techie call off the deal out of nowhere? Well, Musk always had an issue with the number of spam accounts on Twitter. When he asked for the exact number, the guys at Twitter said at least 5% of profiles on the platform are fake. Alright, completely understandable. 5% isn't a lot, to be honest. Almost every social media platform has that many fake accounts. Like, have you not seen the comments under a popular Instagram post? It's literally full of bots. But you know Elon. He just loves stirring up some controversy and calling things out for what they really are. The richest man in the world accused Twitter of lying about the number and called off the deal. This is where Joe Rogan comes in. Talking to comedian Theo Vaughn on the 1847th episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, the UFC commentator said that the whole fake account issue was all part of Elon's big plan. Rogan claims that Musk still wants to buy it, but he wants the exact figure first, and everything he's doing right now is to find out the exact number of bots on the platform. Still, it's not like Elon has been going around sharing details of his plan with Joe or something. It's just an opinion, but it's a clever one. And if this actually ends up happening, then not only is Joe Rogan a mystic, but Musk will probably go down as one of the best businessmen alive. Next, time for a legal showdown. Now, we don't really know for sure, but Twitter's CEO claims the company has exhausted around $30 million to finalize everything, so Elon could smoothly take over the company. But since he's pulled the plug out of the deal after accusing Twitter of misleading him with fake data, the whole management is divided. Just think about it for a second. It's like you're working at a company and all of a sudden, a billionaire decides to buy everything. The executive management, the board, the managers, they're all sort of going through a transition. They're spending money to make sure they hold up their end of the deal, but the billionaire changes his mind at the last second. It's almost like mental trauma for employees, going through so many changes in such little time. Anyway, that's mainly the reason why Twitter has sued Elon Musk, claiming he's bound to go through with the deal, otherwise he'll be violating his contract. Oh, and Twitter also emphasized on the fact that Musk kept demanding a lot of data that wasn't exactly relevant to their deal. It's simple, Twitter feels cheated, and taking Elon to court is the only way to get him to go through with the deal. And guess what? Elon has countersued Twitter for misleading him. The billionaire literally got his team to submit a counterclaim on how he doesn't have to go through with the deal. But why are fake accounts such a big issue? For starters, fake accounts are bad because they spread misinformation. Like, there's so much research on how Russia used fake bots to help get Trump elected in the presidential elections by spreading fake news. But the platform also has a lot of good bots. In fact, Twitter describes its automated accounts as good bots. You might even have come across a few, like the Earthquake bot, which gives you an update every time there's an earthquake, or the Mr. Stock bot, which quotes prices of a certain stock whenever asked. But more importantly, it also determines the price per share. See, if the social platform is growing month on month, then the value of Twitter is also increasing because, well, it's getting more popular. Makes sense, right? And since Elon thinks the number of spam accounts are more than 5%, the value of one share is inflated. Until and unless Twitter reveals the true number, only then can the deal go through. Honestly speaking, Elon has a point here. Anyway, the legal hearings will commence in October. Let's see how things play out. It looks like a win-win for Elon in any case. Time for some more on Elon Musk. Let's talk about an awkward dad. We're going to tell you something really weird about Elon Musk, father of billionaire Elon Musk. For someone whose son is the richest man in the world, you'd think he'd be pretty proud. But believe it or not, Errol isn't exactly too thrilled about how Elon is doing. For starters, he's really worried about his personal life. His father claims that Elon's younger brother, Kimball, is actually his pride and joy, and that's mainly because he's been able to find a nice woman, settle down, and live a happy life. On the other hand, Elon has 9 kids with 4 different women, and his father doesn't approve of that at all. In fact, he thinks that his eldest son probably won't be able to find a woman willing to give everything up to settle down with a man like him. And this is where it gets really weird. Errol then proceeds to talk about how Kimba and him had a conversation that Elon really needs to take diet pills, right? We don't really think it's cool to talk about your son that way, Mr. Musk. Up next, Elon weighs in. Elon Musk had just shared his opinion on WNBA star Brittany Griner after she was detained in Russia for having vape cartridges full of hash oil. US authorities, including international athletes, have been voicing their opinion to get Griner out of there, but it seems like the Russians have an agenda of their own. They've offered to give up Brittany as long as the US agrees to hand over a detained arms dealer. In other words, think of it as a Russian-US prisoner exchange. Prior to this offer, American authorities, including some really prominent individuals, have been unusually quiet about what they plan to do to bring the basketballer home. We've actually been hearing news how President Biden may even agree to the whole prisoner exchange thing to bring her home. But Elon Musk doesn't really think that's cool at all. In fact, he thinks it's pretty unfair to all those people locked up for weed in the States. Elon took to Twitter last Sunday and tweeted how the US should free up some people in jail for weed here too. We really feel for Brittany and we want her to come home as soon as possible. But not gonna lie, Elon has a point here. Finally, the next big project. Elon Musk is like an adrenaline junkie, the only difference being he gets his kick from building some really cool and mind-blowing things. This news isn't exactly confirmed as of yet, but we've heard things about how Elon may get to build his own private airport outside of Texas. If constructed, the airport won't be available to the public, and that really sucks since whatever Elon builds is pretty sick. His companies have a lot of presence in that area, so it makes sense why he'd want to build near Austin. Both Tesla and the Boring Company are headquartered in Austin, so it would make life pretty easy for the billionaire to land at his own airport and check up on operations. Anyway, it isn't exactly something Elon can start doing whenever he wants. He'd have to get a ton of licenses and approvals before he can even think of doing something like building an airport. But if you were trying to figure out the next big thing to come from the tech billionaire, it might be a huge private airport. That's it from our side, folks. So what do you think? Does Twitter have more than 5% spam accounts? And is this all a part of Elon's master plan to buy out the platform? Let us know in the comments below. Remember, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content in the future. Thank you for watching, guys, and see you next time.